influence This is the art of escapism. If you had an opportunity to live one day over and over again, what would you do? What would you say? Who would you talk to? What relationships would you make? As high school students, we are arguably the most busy and stressed out people in the world. If Snapchat doesn't load in 10 seconds, if we don't get that Instagram buzz, we are constantly moving on to seek satisfaction and affection. We are broken machines trying to become whole again. That's why every Friday, Saturday night, we go to parties that we try to escape from our reality. Are we addicted in love? If so, how can we still say that we want a family, a steady job, a life? How can we say these things when our origin story derives from this? You tell me. This is the art of escapism, how teenagers break away from the monotony of school.
High school students don't make great choices while not under the influence of anything, and then when they're under the influence of alcohol and drugs, they make even worse decisions, which can lead to accidents. So I understand why they want to do it. It's just, as an adult, I can look back and kind of think it's not a good thing to do, even though at the time it looks like it's fun.
If you just want to drink a little with the boys, I guess that's good. It's fun. Yeah, I can see why. It kind of helps you socialize, helps you have fun. And when you're under the influence of alcohol, you kind of let yourself go and you do things you normally wouldn't do when you're sober, which can't be a good thing. I mean, it's not the best way, it's not the smartest, but I mean, when you have a lot of things have happened this year, especially at our school, and I know a lot of kids aren't handling it very well, and I think a lot of people turn to alcohol and like drugs to get away from that. I think it can definitely help, but it's definitely not the best way to handle the problem.
I think that a lot of people have just troubled lives and they're like stressed out with school, and that going out and partying is able to help just escape and not have to worry about your school life, your homework, and you can just let all that be forgotten when you party.
According to the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, by age 15, about 33% of teens have had at least one drink, and by age 18, that amount doubles, where around 60% of teens have had at least one drink. In a 2015 study, 7.7 million young Americans between the ages of 12 and 20 reported that they drank alcohol beyond just a few sips in the past month. Out of the 40 million Americans that fall into this age range, that's 17.5% who admit to drinking alcohol beyond a few sips. Estimates range between 30 and 40% of teenagers who have had this amount of alcohol but simply won't admit to doing so. However, the bigger problem is binge drinking, or 5 or more drinks for males and 4 or more drinks for females within the same hour. This is responsible for 90% of alcohol consumption among teenagers. 5.1 million young Americans report binge drinking within the past month, and 1.3 million young Americans report binge drinking 5 or more occasions over that past month. The 2015 Youth Risk Behavior Survey found that among high school students, 33% drank some amount of alcohol, 18% binge drank, 8% drove while drinking alcohol, 20% rode with a driver who had been drinking alcohol, and 21% had no alcohol or no comment on the issue. And finally, in 2011, 188,000 people under the age of 21 visited an emergency room for an alcohol-related injury. All of these were preventable. Do we have your attention yet?
The world that we live in, that students live in, is becoming more and more reliant on drugs and alcohol to escape from life's frustrations and problems. Students use alcohol and drugs as relief, a release from the mundane paths that we all walk. We give in to our desires and use it in drinking to a point that it's unhealthy, that some students are even hospitalized because of it. We asked students and teachers about why they thought it was appealing, and they all agreed that it was. However, even the students agreed that it was a poor way to live life. At the end of the day, the question still is, why do high schoolers party? Why do we need to escape in the first place? Is the problem with the society that we live in, or is the problem with ourselves? When we first asked, they were petrified. They didn't realize a high school student could even talk, even ask about questions concerning alcohol and drugs. And as our questions grew more and more personal, they tried to avoid it more and more. We know the risks. We know the consequences. We know what we're doing is wrong. Yet we continually use it as a crutch to round out our week.
Why do you put your life's worth in this raging, twisting curse? You have a choice in life. One will give you fruition, and one will give you strife. An alcoholic journey. Or a family that loves you eternally.
If only I knew then what I know now.